Hey, today we'll dive into powerful advice about anxiety.
We're tackling that feeling, you know the one, that constant nagging pressure that you have to be busy all the time.
I mean, think about it. Does the idea of just doing nothing, even for a few minutes, fill you with a little bit of anxiety? Do you feel like if you're not planning your next move, or producing something, or just getting ahead, that you're somehow falling behind? If any of that is hitting home, stick around. You are exactly who we're talking to today.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to name the enemy, what Professor Kim calls the sickness of impatience. Then we'll get into this huge idea of doing versus being. After that, we'll talk about meditation, but as a tool, not some magic cure. We'll even look at the actual science behind what calm does to your body. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to find real joy in, well, nothing.
All right, let's get right into it. Professor Kim says that the problem for so many of us isn't just stress. It's more specific than that. He calls it a kind of cultural sickness, an impatience that's making us unwell.
And this is so much deeper than just getting annoyed in a long line at the grocery store. It's this deep-seated internal feeling that you have to be rushing, always moving on to the next task, the next goal. It creates this constant hum of anxiety in the background, and for a lot of us, it's just become our default way of living. And listen, the stakes here are really high. This isn't just about feeling a bit unhappy or frazzled. He's being very direct here. This constant state of hurry is literally what makes us sick. And the solution he offers, well, it sounds so simple, but it's maybe one of the hardest things to do. You have to just let it be.
So how in the world do you just let it be? Well, to get there, we first need to understand this core concept he talks about, the two totally different modes of existence we can live in.
This chart just lays it out so perfectly. So on one side, you have doing mode. This is where most of us spend our days, right? It's all about goals, checklists, always asking, okay, what's next? And that's what fuels all that restless, anxious energy. But then you have being mode. This is totally different. It's focused only on the present. It's about truly experiencing the now without needing to get anything done. It's that feeling of calm, of just being able to say, I am here.
And this is the real kicker. The solution to being stuck in doing mode isn't to just add relax for 10 minutes to your to-do list, right? Because that's just more doing. The real goal is a fundamental shift inside you, changing your entire state of existence from one of frantic action to one of simple presence.
So, of course, this conversation leads us to meditation, which is probably one of the best known tools for getting into that being state. But, and this is a really, really big but, Professor Kim has a very serious warning when it comes to meditation, especially if you're dealing with a diagnosed mental health condition.
Let's be absolutely crystal clear about this because it's so important. If you have been diagnosed with an illness like depression or an anxiety disorder, trying to cure it with meditation alone is a dangerous mistake. That is not your decision to make. That call belongs to a medical professional, period.
He gives the perfect analogy to understand this. Imagine you have a slipped disc in your back. You wouldn't just ignore the doctor and start doing hardcore yoga, right? No way. You'd get the injury treated first, then, once you're stable, you do the rehabilitative exercises to support your healing. It is the exact same principle for mental health.
So the responsible path is simple, and it's non-negotiable. Step 1, you get a professional diagnosis. Step 2, you follow the treatment plan your doctor gives you. And then, step 3, you can absolutely use meditation as a powerful supportive tool to help you along the way, ideally with your doctor's blessing.
And he adds another really important layer here. For some people, especially those with a lot of anxiety or past trauma, just sitting still and meditating can actually make things worse. It can be a space where bad memories pop up and become overwhelming. In those cases, something called movement meditation, like going for a mindful walk or a run, can be a much, much better approach. Okay, so let's get into the science, because this is where it gets really cool. The benefits of this being state aren't just in your head. There are real, measurable things happening inside your body. This is fascinating.
So, in scientific studies, they've actually seen that regular meditation can directly change your body's physical stress response. For instance, when exposed to a stressor, people who meditate show a significantly lower inflammation response. We're talking literally less redness and swelling than people who don't. It's proof that your mind can actually regulate your body's automatic physical reactions.
So the big takeaway here is really powerful. Remember that sickness of impatience we talked about? Well, that's a state of chronic stress that keeps your body's alarm systems firing all day long. Cultivating a state of being isn't just a psychological trick to feel a bit more relaxed. It is an active way to tell those systems to stand down, giving your body a real chance to recover and build resilience.
All right, so the theory is great, but how do we actually bring this into our messy, chaotic, everyday lives? This last part is all about putting it into practice.
Here's the secret. You have to stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel calm. You don't need a special cushion or a silent retreat. The opportunity is right here, right now. It's in the feeling of your feet hitting the pavement when you walk. It's in the simple act of taking one single conscious breath. It's in looking up and just noticing the color of the sky. These tiny moments are the doorways into the being state.
And Professor Kim shares this mind-blowing idea. So many of us live our lives thinking, I'll finally be happy when this problem is solved. But guess what? There's always another problem. He calls this concept happiness and disaster. It's the ability to fully acknowledge your problems, but at the same time, allow yourself to experience joy. The problem is real, yes, but this beautiful, simple moment right now, it's real too. And really, it all boils down to this. We have to stop making our happiness conditional. True, deep contentment isn't some prize you get for finally clearing your inbox or finishing all your chores. It's a state of being that you can choose to access anytime just by giving yourself permission to simply be.
So I'll leave you with a little challenge. In a world that screams at you to do more, be more, achieve more, what is one thing, just one tiny thing, that you will give yourself permission not to do today so you can make a little space to just exist?